The crack of the can on the morning.
Good morning, everyone. Just me having my Munster.
Dads with coffee and energy drinks. Coffee and energy drinks, that's kind of a redundancy.
Yeah,
but it doesn't have you've got like 14 cups of coffee in your can.
No,
there.
sir.
Was it 140 grams? Are those 140?
I don't know. Who really needs to know? Yeah, 140 milligrams per can.
Have you tried Celsius yet?
I have.
Those are 200.
That's a lot.
In a can. I don't like the flavor as much, though, as I do those.
I don't like... Evan drinks Reigns.
I've heard of those, yes.
And then they have another one called Bang.
Yeah.
I definitely don't like Bang. It's got creatine in it.
Okay.
Not a fan. Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
No.
Rough morning today?
Yeah, I'm trying to feed the dogs. The dogs try to run me out every day. It's like Bear thinks I'm not going to find my way to the dog bowl.
As if you've missed it ever before.
Here, let me show you where the food's at so you can put it in my bowl. Well, come on, man. He almost ran me over, buckled my knee. I'm going to tear a knee up.
Well, but you need that right now.
I don't, though.
Well,
I don't think I do. Maybe I do. We'll see what I do.
For some assessments that are coming.
What's the scroll?
Oh, it's the stuff I did last week. The unique assessment stuff.
Oh. Okay. That's a gigantic scroll there.
There's quite a few things we did together. So the processor and the content individual. He was processor, I was content. That was the deal.
All right then.
I'll tell you later.
Hi, Laura. Laura was having snuggles with her grandbaby this morning. She sent me a picture. She probably still is.
Yeah, right.
She watches him 1 week, and then his great aunt, I guess, watches the next week.
Okay.
So I tried something different last night.
Okay.
I went with a video on Right Now Media.
Good, because we have it. We should be using it.
Well, they hated it.
Okay.
Because it was a monologue.
Sure.
And it was just one person up there talking. It was a first person reenactment of Luke from the Book of Acts.
Okay. There are better ones than that.
There are.
How long was it?
It was 15 minutes. I really liked it.
Well, okay. Here's the problem.
No, here's the problem. When I watched it on 1.5 speed.
Okay.
When I showed it to them.
So that's 7 minutes, 10 minutes.
Right. When I showed it to them, it was on 1 speed. And they were like, he was just so slow and boring. And there were no captions.
You see, all the videos have captions these days.
What? We had a discussion.
Because we're teaching them to read again.
No, we're not. You know what we're teaching them? Have all the other noise around you and still try to focus on that. So I can't really hear what they're saying. So I might as well read it. But the captions don't always match up to what they actually say.
No. Especially on all those old Asian Western shows.
Yeah. Or any current anime.
My wife has me watch. Every now and then we pick a movie. We're going to watch a movie or watch a show. And she, we'll give it 5 minutes. And if it's going to be captioned because it's a foreign language I'm out. I don't watch it to read it. I watch it to watch it. I don't like it. We're watching this show now that called Promised Land. It's a wine grower in Southern California. And it's about, it's called Heritage House. It's the wine place. And it's about a Hispanic man that came from nothing and now owns this, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so, they flash back a lot to their early days when they were just the cutters and not the owners. And so it's all, I have to read it. And I'm like, she said, I said, what just happened? She's like, oh, well, blah. I'm like, oh, that was the part I had to read last episode that I don't care.
See,
I'm done with it at times.
When we watch a show, I'm usually here.
Yeah, me too.
I don't just get locked in, you know.
Jessica's texting me. Hang on, all. My worship minister is texting me a quick question. She forgets that I'm on this at 9:00.
So I was going to pull a light bulb yesterday because we talked about putting black lights in those 4 lights, and they're pretty dainty, if you will.
Okay, did it break?
Yeah, in my hand, all over my face.
Goodness gracious.
I didn't get any cuts though.
Hey,
That's leather skin right there.
That's what that is.
Leather skin.
That's what that is.
So yeah, I mean, I'll try another right now video because they just want to hear. They just like to hear me talk, I guess.
Maybe you need to expand their horizons a little bit.
I thought it was really good.
Well, but you and I are of a generation where that length of video is short for our thing. You know, when YouTube's out there with 7-minute videos, that's all we get.
Yeah.
10 tops, and that you better be engaging. Because how many videos are out there? I mean, you got the TikToks that were 10 seconds, and now they've expanded those to let you have more time.
1 minute, 3
1 minutes now. You know, so they're constantly barraged with fresh, new, and
wonder why we have so much ADHD in our world.
A 15-minute video it's just outside of the normal experience.
Snoozeville.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Snoozeville. Well,
if they can't put it on double speed.
Well, and I did put it. I mean, when I put it on, I was just doing it just to get through it, just to hear the content, not realizing that this guy really is kind of boring.
But see, we have a deeper level of acceptance for boring. I mean, we can deal with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not dogging on the younger generation. I'm just saying different generations do have a different level of acceptance for that. And the younger generation has zero tolerance of boring. I mean, zero tolerance.
Right. Well,
zero.
They have so many options.
Absolutely.
I grew up with
what a challenge it is for us as speakers.
Yeah, I grew up with 8, 13, and 17, and sometimes
I'm gonna have to turn this over, aren't I? Because it's very distracting.
I can get channel 11 out of St. Louis occasionally, but man, we got cable and we had all the options.
Channel surfing became a term.
Yeah, yeah.
I used to be the surfboard for my dad.
Yeah, me too.
Before the remote came into play.
But Dad always. I mean, he kind of knew he had a TV guide. He knew what he wanted to watch.
Yep.
When we got cable, look, if the Cardinal ball game was on,
just find that.
That's all we had. Put it on channel 11.
That's all we're going to watch.
Yeah, put it on channel 11. What's on? Cardinal baseball. All
right. Next 4 hours. Oh, back when they were actually 2.5-hour games.
Yeah, they'd run 3 sometimes, you know, and extras.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they didn't have 4-minute commercial breaks between half innings.
Baseball for a second.
Okay.
Do you have any comments over the Angel Hernandez debacle that has been going on this last week?
He's been
and the Joe West issues.
It's time. Joe West is a great umpire. At least at one point in his life, he was. He's slowed down.
As we all do.
He's what? How old's Joe West?
I don't
70?
know. Probably. Does he need to be doing this anymore?
I mean, he would be a great advisor to young umpires.
Here's how you do it.
But, you know, to get to the major leagues, they're not doing it like ball players are because you're not growing up as an official.
Right.
Through 8U ball, 10U ball,
sure.
12U ball. You're growing up as a player. So by the time they're ready to go call balls and strikes at the major league level,
mm-hmm. You're already older.
You're pushing 50 generally.
Yeah, just because you've had to have the time and experience to earn your way into that.
You had to go through Pee Wee, then you had to go through high school, and then college, and then the minors, and then hope to get to a major league contract. And you know,
really lowers your window of time to be effective at it.
And then your reaction time is lower, and your visual acuity is lower.
I agree. I just, maybe they don't need to be the guys behind the plate.
Well, you're right with that. Some people like to make it about themselves.
Sure.
They need to be seen.
Yep. Yep.
Umpires wear monochromatic for a reason.
Right. To not be seen, or to attempt
right
to be not seen. Absolutely.
But when they insert themselves as part of a game, this team's up by 11. I need to call a wider strike zone. No, the plate didn't get any wider. The strike zone didn't get any bigger.
Right.
Call it what it is. Well, yeah, but they're down 17. I've got to go home and eat. You can go home and eat when the game's over.
Now, are you still talking about major league stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, and
ninth grade in JV, there's going to be some subtle changes to facilitate the pace of play.
She's texting me. Yeah, I mean, yes, it's a hitter's game, especially at the lower levels.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
make them hit
anything close. High school baseball, generally, you get the width of a ball. On either side of the plate.
Get the rivers, yeah.
On either side of the plate, you'll get the width of the ball. Most umpires.
Maybe not in varsity.
Most umpires will give you the width of the ball. But because it only takes a little bit to touch the black.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I
thought you meant give the width of the ball out.
No.
Oh, no. All you got to do is touch the plate. So if that's what you mean by width of the ball, absolutely.
Well, I mean, baseball's what? Probably 3 inches wide?
Yeah. But it can't be coming down the batter's box line and expect to be a strike.
No. Although for some guys.
Yeah, I know.
For some guys that like to set up way inside or way outside, so their parallax error is way skewed. Just get behind the plate and call balls and strikes.
Well, but that's harder than it may seem if the catcher's in your way.
You're right.
Trying to find the window between the batter and the catcher, and that catcher wants to line up all the way inside. It makes it tough sometimes to find that window, because calling over the head of the catcher, you miss half the plate.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's why they set up the way they set up.
That's why when the catcher's set up the way they set up, it's not usually going to go well for them.
Well, you should tell the catcher that.
I have, and I do.
Lots of comments. Bill watches Korean shows with captions. I could not do that.
I also tell him that if you drop that one, it's probably going to be a ball if it's close. Learn to catch the ball. And the thing is, coaches all know it, because the catcher will drop the ball and it's close and it's like ball. And there's been some coaches that come unglued on the catcher. They're like, if you'll catch that ball,
yes,
it'll be a strike if you'll catch it.
One of Crowley's coaches was a catcher in high school and in college.
Yeah.
And man, he is the hardest on catchers.
Because he knows. Catch it. Do not drop the ball.
Yeah. Everything in your power to catch it. And not just to catch it. I mean, catchers are getting, they're starting their glove at the ground now and coming up through the ball.
It's like, just start it open and it's easier to catch it.
They're changing,
less movement.
They're changing everything in baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So I was just on a Zoom call, a little more serious topic. I was just on a Zoom call with our school and faith partnership group that I'm a part of.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot going on that I'm sure you're aware of, that maybe not everybody's aware of because we don't track it as the public. But this semester, there have been quite a few deaths,
mm-hmm.
Not only in our school district, but in our region as well. And it's becoming a very big problem. And so those of you in Crowley ISD know that we are collaborating to try to find solutions toward this.
Yeah.
And it's apparently some of this got kicked off around Valentine's Day with a thing they're calling diss songs or, disrespect
Yeah.
kind of things. Apparently one got out of hand and it ended up in a death on that Valentine's Day weekend. Of course, then you had a few more. Then you've got this latest problem of the most recent one.
Right.
And
So this
you know,
graduating class this year, 2022,
yeah,
has lost a kid in their class every year of their high school career.
Yeah.
I mean, you lose one kid and it's incredible. You
absolutely.
lose four.
But 4 in this senior class alone.
Yeah.
Or at least 4.
At least 4. Yes.
And I think it's easy for some who sit in seats of judgment to look down upon some of these students and suggest, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, sometimes it's not always that. Sometimes it's just things that happen.
We don't deal with sins of our own.
Right.
It's others' sins that
Right.
cause us grave harm.
Right.
This most recent kid, he was going to school on a academic and athletic
Yeah, going to
scholarship,
Abilene Christian, wasn't he?
going to ACU.
Track?
Had a full ride, run track and cross country. And he went to a party after prom, and
Yep.
From all accounts, it was all above board and on the up and up, and they had security there, and
Yep.
they did the right things to go out and have a good time.
Yep.
And then somebody got stupid.
Yeah. From not a part of the party. I don't know. But it's a tragic thing. And so the point is, if we look at what Scripture says, that we are to go be the salt and light, then we got to get the salt out of the shaker.
Yeah.
Because something's not happening. There's something not transformative about what the church and what Christians are doing. There's something non-transformative about this because it's not being caught on to by the younger generations. And whether it's an inauthentic lifestyle that we're living as Christians, whether it's a judgmental lifestyle that we're living as Christians, I don't know. What I know is that if you read, WA last night in prayer meeting read an excerpt from a news report from the Third Great Awakening, which was in the mid 1800s.
Mm-hmm.
And it was talking about how we have a generation that's chasing money, and a generation that's chasing self, and a generation that is walking away from God. And our prayers are that things are, this is 170 years ago.
Yeah.
And wow, when he read that, how much it sounded like today, which just, I think, should remind us that as much as we think we're different, we're not always that different. And
I think that'll preach.
And we need to realize that we have kids dying on our own local streets. And I mean, I wasn't aware of all that has transpired this semester until I sat in this meeting. And I guess my question is, why don't I know that? And
well, part of it is
and not that I should know it, but I mean,
right.
how we're all caught up in Ukraine being such a problem. We got students dying in our own school system. I think that's a problem.
We do the same thing in missions.
Yes.
We're all about going somewhere else to do missions.
But what about across the street to have a gospel conversation?
Right. What about Judea?
What about Jerusalem?
What about Jerusalem?
That's where he started.
Yeah.
You will be my witnesses in. He didn't start at the ends of the earth and work his way back. In fact, there is a thought pattern that would suggest if you can't handle it at home, don't try to go away. And if you're already doing it, because there's been this, we grew up in a time where let's go take you away on a mission trip so you can get some training and experience so you can come home and do it. And I've always felt odd about that if you're not already doing it at home, then you shouldn't be going away to do that. And
because what experience do you have? And
well, in our missio tourism that we've been involved with for the last 40 years, you only really have to do it for 3 days because you're going to go play the next 2.
Right. I think John Chris speaks about that. Maybe he's not the greatest example, but all things considered, he's got some pretty good.
He's got some pretty good stuff.
He
tries too hard some days.
Yeah, but
I think he tries too hard on some of his clips.
His take on mission trips.
Oh, but yeah, some takes he has. They're hot takes, and they're on target. But I don't know.
Yes, they are a go generation, Cheryl.
And I don't know. I just think that we have to. I think we need to stop complaining about that generation, and just start loving that generation. Because what good has complaining done for the last 20 years?
No.
None. So how about we start engaging them and loving them and get out of our holy huddles of all our little groups and go have a relationship with them across the aisles and across the seats and across the classrooms? Why don't we do that? Why don't we intermingle our generations in such a way that we can have kids growing up with a multiple generational perspective of Christianity in church, instead of, as it's been said in past, Sunday is the most segregated hour in America, not just racially. It's the most segregated generationally as well. The old people are going to sit there, and the young people are going to sit over here, and then the parents are going to sit over here. It's like, why? Why do we have to have that? Why can we not just love everybody that comes through our door and not just the people we're used to?
Yeah, I know. It's a good point.
I don't know.
Sometimes he just goes there. Something I can do to draw him back in. Once he gets on his soapbox.
Our producer's on the line going, "What are you doing?
Just got to let him go.
Rate him in."
I know. I'll try. All right. Love you too.
You're right.
I don't disagree. I mean, there's nothing. Where do you follow up on that? There's no follow up to that.
I know.
There's no rebuttal to that.
I know. Greg's telling us something. What's Greg telling us?
It better be a yeah, but or something about the
People
Braves.
have used the argument, why do we have to go to the other places to do mission? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's both. It's a both and.
But if you're not doing it here, we've seen an uptick in attendance the last couple of weeks. Through the Crowley, and I tell you what, man, they were singing last night. I had about a third, maybe half of the varsity choir there last night. And when they were singing,
it was rich, wasn't it?
It was nice.
Yeah,
so many harmonies. Everybody was it was like,
yeah.
Everybody got in the bucket. They picked the note, like, I'm going here.
Yeah. And when you got choir people coming, it'll transform it a little.
It's changing.
Just being a part of the group as a whole and just bringing in that opportunity, it's a great thing. And you got a big night coming up Friday night.
Sure do. Big night of praise. I'm hoping more can come that have said that they could come. If you're in the area, around the area, or you just want to come hang out with us Friday night, 7:00, I'll have some snacks and stuff. Got a band coming in. Got Tim Gould coming in to be our speaker. It's just going to be a fun night of worship and praise and fellowship.
Good deal. That is good, good, good. And Sunday's our day of renewal.
Yes.
Going to have a big opportunity for us just to. This is almost like a launching pad moment in my mind.
Yeah, it's like a one-day revival.
It is in a lot of ways, but not a crusade, a revival. There's a difference for those in the audience who may not realize the difference. We grew up having revivals where the reality was it was less about reviving the church and more about bringing people to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So we called it the wrong thing, and now we've got this terminology that's all mixed up. I chose not to use the term revival because I didn't want that confusion, and yet it still gets confused because we don't know what to do with it. And I'm like, okay, we need a renewal moment and a refresh moment, and then we can talk about having another opportunity of something else. But sometimes we just need, it's almost like having a personal retreat.
Yes.
This is what it's kind of like. It's like, let's have a church retreat for the body and realize that we're going to come together for the purposes of renewing our commitment. Moses had the people do this. Joshua had the people do this. Ezra and Nehemiah had the people do this. I think we've lost something by not doing this periodically, of just having this moment of reclamation of our covenant and commitment to God.
Yeah.
We get into the week to week things. And I think sometimes we just need to make a special day where the focus is about this.
And this is it's an all day event. I mean, well, for some of
us, it'll be all day. We've got combined Sunday school in the morning, where Dr. Kreider will come and share some thoughts with us on biblical confession. Then we have morning worship at 11. Deacons meeting will be at 3. That's a time change to 3 to 4, because I got word last night that band and choir need time to prepare for the 6 o'clock worship, which we don't usually have, but on this particular day we're having the 6 o'clock worship time as well. So the band and choir need time to prepare and get ready for the 6 o'clock time. So we moved, and a couple of the deacons are involved in that.
Yes.
So we moved that back in order to accommodate that. So I'm looking forward to a good day and just see what God's going to do.
Right.
Our prayer team developed a prayer guide to lead us through and up to that. And if you've gotten the church talk, you've received that. We've had them out around church. So I think it's going to be, it has all the opportunity.
Should be a great weekend.
Yep.
Should be a great weekend.
Yep.
And I got a lot of stuff to do between now and tomorrow night.
Yep. Well, we can wrap it up today.
I don't know what we got.
Where are we at? 27 minutes.
We still.
How do we go 30 minutes without even just? I mean, we're just kind of here.
Well, you had a call from the producer in the middle, so
That's true.
That's probably part of it.
Hey, we're gonna watch.
That's a joke, by the way.
We're gonna have it online, Cheryl and Laura. So.
You mean the weekend events?
Yeah, the weekend.
Yeah, they're
events
live
are
live online. FBCCrowley.org. Click worship, and it'll even give you a countdown to when it goes live.
Yeah, it'll just take you to our YouTube channel.
Or if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you should get notification when we go live 5 minutes or so before.
I don't know what that last word is. 2 points, but it never, ever had to be either. Oh yeah, you're right. Let's talk about missions.
Yeah.
You're right, both and.
It is both and. It is.
All right.
All right.
I gotta go to work.
Yep.
Love you.